Okay, I'll go with it. I was going to originally go with Command and Conquer, but being as this is in, and I have got another stupid little idea in the works, I might as well just join. Even though I've got the headphones with me as well, I ain't even going to bother sticking them in until we've got a nice little funky beat on the go there, and then I can start sticking stuff in, I guess. It is what it is. Most people would be in bed now, apart from the people. Oh, here we go. Apart from the people in America and Canada and other places around the world. But most of the UK folk are in bed at bars or staying up late doing other things. Yes. Oh, they just come on and then pops off. Okay. Not going to bother saying anything properly until I see at least about 2, 3 people that like actually know me, actually want to talk. Okay, so I want to put a spelling card in. And I guess away we go. See, that's interesting. That is. My other phone never used to do that, but this phone seems to do it. But for some reason, after a certain period of time, my phone's screen is going dark, and my old phone never used to do that. I could stream and stream and stream and stream, and the phone would stay lit up. So, what option do I need to go into to stop that from happening? 'Cause that never used to happen before. So, why on this phone is my phone going dark after a certain period of time? Uh, so, despite the fact that there's no one here anyway. Also, it's telling me, on the replay, this moment in time, probably what happened. So, well, hi, Marge. You how's things? Yeah, it's been incredibly hot today, man. We went to the Chester Zoo again today. Crazy weather, crazy weather. Sun from the moment it came up all the way through. I've just been doing a bit of sky watching. Saw a few UFOs. Whether or not they're satellites or UFOs, Who knows? But that's why you call them UFOs. In between Dave Waffle House going in and out of whatever was going on there with his channel, with his reception or whatever. Same sort of thing happened to me this morning. It was just disconnecting and reconnecting for whatever reason. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. As soon as we got in the car, sun's coming up, man. It's been a lovely hot day, man. It's like mid-July again. It's crazy. Is it just you? See, there's two people. No crickets. Could be worse. It could be roaches. I didn't get round to finishing my story with you, Marge, about the cockroach in my flat when I moved in. So we was talking about cats being in the property. Well, I just got Cassie, Roland, and I think Maya. Maybe I got Maya by that time. I know I definitely had Cassie, and I'm pretty sure I had Roland as well. But anyway, established. Yes, there was. Kelly loves them. Kelly loves elephants. We managed to see the bull this time. Asian elephants. I'll get to that in a minute. But going back to the cockroach thing, back in the day when that guy came round, that exterminator came round to my flat, oh, so I'm trying to do two things all at once here. So he comes round. I tell him all about it. He establishes where the main lot of the roaches seem to be, all in this electric cupboard where the heating is and everything. Anyway, keeping warm. He has to do a whole sweep of the flat just to make sure. That's what they have to do, right? So he goes round with his suit on and his Ghostbuster pack on his back and his little spray gun thing. Tells me to go and wait outside. Tells me to get any pets, cats or whatever outside with me. And he says, I'm going to do this. I'm only going to be about 5-10 minutes. And he says, I won't go back in there for a bit. He says, I'll be back in a bit. So I'll go outside onto the communal hallway. He goes off on a spray in my kitchen. I've got Cassie with me, my cat. So I guess, yeah, I must have had just Cassie with me because I distinctively remember Cassie being with me. So anyway, we're outside. I ain't took my goddamn keys from my flat, and my old door, once it closed and that catch went into the fucking hole, that's it. You're locked out. This guy's spraying. I'm waiting outside my door. Guy comes back, and this is what he does. He comes walking up to my door. He opens my door. I'm right by my door on one of the chairs. I've dragged a kitchen chair out of my kitchen all the way into the communal, waiting for him, messing about on my phone. He comes out. The guy comes out. The exterminator comes out my flat. And he goes, right then, Sonny Jim. He says, I wouldn't go in there for about 5, 10 minutes or so. Puts his hands into my goddamn letterbox and goes plunk behind him. And he says, so don't go in there for a bit. And I've gone, trying to have a conversation with me. And I've gone, mate, well, hold on. I've gone, mate, you've just locked me out my flat. And he's gone, oh, haven't you got a spare? And I went, well, yeah, I've got a spare, but that's not the fucking point. I said, it's inconvenient for me now. Now I've got to try and call my dad. Don't even know if I'm going to get hold of him to try and see if I can explain to him what's happened there, get him to bring the key down, even if he can, so I can get back in my flat. I guess I must have contacted my dad. I don't know. It was a while back now. I just remember thinking to myself, yeah, I must have. I must have, because the last thing I want to do is take my door off. But I did fuck my shoulder up. I did damage my shoulder because in the end, I had to really shoulder barge my door in to get in. Split the framework down the middle where the lock goes in, and I had to get in my flat that way. All because this twat that came round, right, closed my fucking door. Oh, the idiot, man. I don't know why he done that, right? Uh, so at this point, I didn't give a fuck. I went back in there, and he'd put all these trays, even though we'd gone round spraying everywhere. He put these tray traps where all the roaches were mainly found, and he put a few in my kitchen as well, in the airing cupboards and that. And none seemed to. There were like these boxes, these hollow, like, weren't even like a proper box. It was just like, like on some packaging on some food, you get like a cardboard sleeve that slides off with the what it is on the top and the cooking information underneath. You usually get them on these polystyrene trays, and you just slide them off like that. Well, these things that he had, right, these traps, they were like that. They were like sleeves, and in the bottom of the sleeve inside, it had like this really sticky resin that the roaches stick to once that. In the middle, it's got like these sweet packet of like sweet stuff that they like to eat or whatever it was in the middle. And the idea is they run into the stuff to get to the center because they can smell the food in the middle, and they just stick to it. Well, took these traps out after only a few hours, and there was loads of them, loads of these little German cockroaches stuck to this thing. Some of them still alive, trying their best to wriggle through. I couldn't fucking believe it. After that, though, no roaches, all gone, all gone. It was just like a small infestation from somebody else's flat. And I haven't seen one since. I have not seen one since. And it's been years since that fucking happened. But yeah, that's what happened to me, Marge. That's what I was trying to get round to telling you, my little story of what happened. It wasn't a good experience, to be honest with you, at all. Let's get a bit close. And let me tell you what happened this morning. Okay, so holy crap, 17 foot. Wow. Do you already know about the story about me having to jump balcony to balcony from the 5th floor in my old flat before the one that I'm in now. Some guy breaks in, comes into my flat, stabs me up in the leg to rob my DJ equipment. Successfully gets away with it, by the way. Brother's in there as well. He gets held by knife point to his throat. I struggle with the guy at the door. I stupidly grab the blade hand of the knife he's got. It's like a little mini samurai. Pops my fingers clean there. Pops them clean. Like fucking cat's eyes. You see all the flesh bulging out. Cuts it there where I held the blade. So the one side of the blade's there. The other's gone cut deep there. Because I'm wrestling with it. I managed to pull away. And then he's just stabbed me twice in the leg. I've gone limping past my brother into the hallway and said, just run, there's someone in the flat, sort of thing. Locked myself on the balcony. Next minute, you know, the guy's charging at me, spiderwebs the glass on the balcony, and I have no choice but to jump down all the balconies to get away. That was scary as well. That was just a quick version. I can't be asked to go through that one again. If you don't know about that one, Marge, and you're interested, maybe I'll tell you on a messenger or something one of the days. But let me tell you what happened this morning, man. You know these YouTube videos that you see sometimes of planes and other objects, because I've even seen animals as well now, like birds stuck in the sky. You know, like these videos that started coming out of planes, and they're just there like that. Like holograms, they're not moving, they're just there, right? No word of a lie. Me and Kelly saw our first. It's a jumbo jet. It's a big fucking jumbo jet, not a 4-engine job. It was a 2-engine job, and it was blue at the bottom, and it was white at the top, and the engines were coloured blue as well, and it was like that. Now it was low enough to be coming into land. But this is what got me. Not only was it like standing still, right, and at an angle like that, but the airstrip was behind us. So any planes coming in our perspective, we're driving down the road like that, and the houses are here, and we can see the plane like it's hovering over the back gardens of these houses along this road, right? Any planes coming in that low should be coming way behind us, either coming in at the airport this way or coming in at the airport this way, right? We just left mine, right? This plane was coming this way. So if he was coming into land, it would have had to have fucking gone like that, round us. And at that altitude, you ain't really got much time to level yourself off and come into land, right? So at first, that was my first thought. I said to Kelly, is that a plane? Because my concern was, if that's a plane, why is it coming in that low at that angle? And as we passed it, you know that feeling that it looks like a plane's not moving at all when you're going one way and the plane's going the other, and it just looks like it's hovering. At first we thought it was that, right? And then we was level with the thing, and we noticed with the stuff in the background that it was around, like trees and everything, we noticed it wasn't moving from its spot. I was desperate for Kelly to turn round and go back on ourselves, but we're on a busy road. It's ages for a turn off to come back down the other side of the road. And I was hoping she was going to do it. And I kept looking at her. And after a bit, I says, you're not going to do it, are you? And she went, no. She says, I'm sorry, but it's going to be ages for a turn off. And we want to get to the zoo, don't we? So I didn't get a chance to, annoyingly didn't get a chance to get it on my phone, photo one. Because by the time I did get my bloody phone out, when it was like at that peak moment where we'd got level with it, and it was like, yeah, it's confirmed. It is not moving. It had gone in line with the houses, and we couldn't fucking see it anymore. It was just, we was literally just seeing it for a bit between the gaps of our two houses, and then not seeing it because it's just level with the roof, and then another gap between two houses, and we're seeing it again, and it's like, oh my god! But people in that area, somebody's got to have looked out their windows and seen that, and like put a YouTube video on. I haven't looked yet, but I'm gonna be looking at Midlands. I actually seen a YouTube video of a plane, and someone's got on the motorway and they go under a bridge and they film like that. I don't know if it's real or not. And you can see a plane like literally there, right by the bridge. It's really low and it's just there, just hovering by the bridge. It's crazy stuff, man. I believe in videos now that I've seen that stuff myself. I believe in it. At first, I was like, I don't know, maybe it's faked or some of them are faked, and no doubt some of them are. But me and Kelly saw that. I'm telling you, them a lot of them hologram videos, a lot of them videos are real, man. They've got to be real. But why have we got like holographic shit like that? Why have we got hologram planes? Why are they? What's the purpose of them doing that? What I mean, was that a mistake that we seen in the sky? Was that, well, like I mean, like I said, I am even seeing birds. I'm even seeing birds, and there's a video of a broomstick in high in the air, and all sorts of random objects now. People are saying they're seeing in the sky, just floating there randomly, man. There's this one of a bird, and it's in the sky, and I think someone touches it or throws something at it or something. And then it all of a sudden like wakes up out of its floating trance in the sky and starts flying again. From what I recall, anyway. But yeah, we seen that like literally like 5 minutes into the journey, not long after we'd left mine, we pulled up at the petrol station, we put 20 quid's worth of petrol in, because it's like a 100-mile journey there and then 100-mile odd back. So we topped up 20 quid's petrol, left the station literally as soon as you got onto the, I think it was a Bromford Lane or something like that, going towards the spaghetti. That's when we seen it. That's when we seen it, man. I could not believe it. I'm like, what's a plane doing coming from that angle, man? And that's another random thing as well. It's the fact that it was there in the sky, not moving, that low at that angle, coming from that angle. It's randomly over the back of some back gardens. But it's low as if it is coming into land, but it's tilted slightly like that as if it's on like a takeoff. It was really odd. It was really odd. And I don't recall seeing the wheels out of the thing either. I don't recall seeing the wheels out of it. Really wish I'd have fucking took at least a photo, guys. A photo wouldn't have been any good though, really thinking about it. Oh, fuck. I was really disappointed. I just wanted to fucking forget about it as quick as I could, because that would have made a good video, that would have. Let's catch up on what people are saying. Oh, we've got 3 people. Who else is it? Hold on. I've got to catch up on these messages. Yeah. Well, not that. Not that. Like, because obviously we was going that way and the plane was coming the opposite way. And like at a certain angle, as you're driving, it might look like the plane's in the same position. And that's what we was trying At least I was. Kelly did open her mouth and say the same thing, to be fair. And I was like, yeah, I was trying to understand what I was seeing in the air, and I had to like strain my eyes to make sure there weren't a little tiny bit of movement, and I was trying to look for points like trees and that to refer it to as we're traveling, and it seemed to stay there, man. I was like, yo, and Kelly, I think, was the first one that was like, did we just see a glitch? And I was like, that's exactly what we just seen, man. Uh, was hit and killed by a dead Canadian goose years ago. But it's to do with speed, yeah. Saw the broomstick. Yeah, you've seen that as well, have you, Marge? Which fella? Love that. Wow, really? Wind tunnels. Wow, what an experience, eh? Um, the other thing I wanted to say was, so Friday, like Kelly's now calling me because obviously my nickname that Kelly's got for me is Boo Bear. She always calls me Boo Bear, right? Um, so Friday, I had to return back to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital for another eye test. Another eye test. Right? More bullshit. Um, my day started off Thursday, the afternoon before Thursday. My gaffer's turned round to me towards end of shift and said, is there any chance you can come in and start at 5 in the morning? Keeping in mind, we usually start at like, yes, Joel, how are you? You good, mate? Good to see you. So yeah, he turned around to me on Thursday and he says, is there any chance you can start at 5? We usually start at 7 in the morning. So usually what I would do is every week morning, get up about 5:15, 5:30 at the latest. I usually wake up at 5:30. That gives me half an hour to get up, wash myself, refresh, get changed, and then get out the door. I like to get out the door for about 10 to 6 because my bus comes at 2 minutes past 6, right? And then I'll get on that bus, and then that'll drop me off at like about 10 past. And then what I'm finding myself doing now is because Tesco Extra is open around about that time, I'll pop into Tesco if I need to, and I'll grab myself some bottles of mineral water, maybe a little snack to buy, and then I'll go over and wait for my next bus. And it all works out nicely. I get into work nice, no problems, even with sometimes to spare usually. Um, so anyway, he's asked me to start at 5 in the morning on the Friday. Um, you're right. Yeah, and I agreed to it. I agreed to it, which means instead of getting up at 5:30, 5:15, 5:30. I've now got to be up at, what was it that I got? I got up at like coming up to 4. I was supposed to get up at 3:30, but I was that knackered. I struggled to get out of bed, but I managed to get myself out of bed just in time for 4 o'clock, dressed and everything. So I'm still tired because I ain't really had enough sleep. And from the days of work that have caught up on my body beforehand, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it all comes together. It's all part of it. So I'm going down. So because my mate, who gives me a lift into work sometimes, because he'd offered to do 5 o'clock as well. That's why I agreed, because it means now all I've got to do now is go down the road to get a 97 and then get to his, and then he's going to give me a lift in his car the rest of the way. So that's what happened, right? So usually what would happen is on a Friday we'd start on the 7 in the morning, then we'd finish at 12. I finished 1 hour early at 11 to be excused to go to my appointment. So I'm already knackered. I'm already absolutely shattered, right? Glad to get out of work. And now I've got to make my own way for the first time to the QE from work, straight ass from work, right? So I got an X2 all the way into town, nearly fell asleep on the bus, managed to get myself into town, and then I'm on the blower to Kelly because I'm in doubt what the hell to do. I'm thinking get a train. So I'm glad I messaged Kelly because she's turned around and said there's train strikes going on, so you're probably not gonna it's not gonna work for you basically. I was in plenty of time though. I was in plenty of time. To be fair, I felt like at the time I probably should have done till 12 o'clock and still left from work at 12 o'clock. I would have got outside and got on the bus for maybe about 12:30. My appointment was for 1:30. So it should have gave me plenty of time. But I tell you what, I'm really glad that I left at 11 o'clock because, like Kelly, as I say, she gave me advice on don't go and get the train, go get yourself these buses. So I listened to her, got the buses that she told me to get, and she even bless her, give me a Google print off of all the bus stops that lead up to till I get to the QE. And my eyes and panicking and everything. I was looking at the bus stops, but some of the names weren't registering with me because panic was just getting in the way. And there was a few of them that had university in them in the title, right? And I knew I had to get off at one. There was like a university one that also is known as the QE stop. And I ended up getting off at one called the University Building or something, which was like 3 or 4 stops way before the stop I was supposed to get off at. So I've got off at this stop. I'm stopped outside this bloody big building with a bloody big plaque. And I'm like, I've got off at the wrong stop. Luckily, there was this Chinese student or whatever she was waiting outside this plaque. And I asked her, and she told me, yeah, it's down that way, a few more bus stops. So I walked the rest of the way, got to the QE. I'm looking for this entrance where me and Kelly had gone the last time I went there with her, where there's the food stalls and everything, the fruit stalls and everything. I needed that one so I can go in straight to the reception, tell them the information that I've got on a text to tell them where I've got to go and go from there. And I ended up it's a big hospital. It's a bloody big hospital. I ended up walking all the way around the Wrekin, asking people on the way, giving me directions in the right way to go, till I eventually got to this bloody entrance to the hospital that I needed to get to. Then it was a lot of faffing of going to this reception. I need this place. Yeah, go over here. Then I went down some corridors, ended up at another reception. Oh yeah, you need to go here. Then I finally got to my waiting. I finally got to my waiting room. I'm knackered, fed up, pissed off. I don't entirely know why the bloody hell I'm actually here for this appointment anyway. Something about another eye test. I'm getting sick of these eye tests after eye tests. I had two MR, whatever, CAT scans, and they still can't seem to figure out what's the problems with my eyes. So I'm fed up. I'm on my own. I don't particularly want to be there. I'm around a bunch of random people that are sick and God knows what, yeah. Got problems with their eyes and whatever. And people are getting called into this room and then coming out. And they're getting their eyes scanned, it would turn out. Getting the back of their eyes scanned on this machine and then told to wait outside. So I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait. I'm absolutely bored. But while I was in town, before I made it to the hospital, I was absolutely hungry, so I popped into a KFC, got myself a 6-piece bucket, stuck it in my bag. That 6-piece bucket that I was ever so desperately dying to eat, I never got a chance to eat that bloody thing until I got home, much, much, much later in the day. I was out longer than I expected I would be. It was really, it's a horrible day, Friday was, and now my screen's going dark again for some reason. What's going on? Yeah, so I'm sitting there. I eventually get seen to by a black nurse. She takes me into the room, and I explain to her how tired I am and grumpy and how long this is going to take, like in a nice way. Wasn't being grouchy with her. And she says, yeah, we understand, and all that and all the waiting and that. She says, but I can assure you, you're going to be next. So I go back outside. She says, someone's going to call you to have your eyes scanned. And then after that happens, the doctor's going to see you. So I come back out. Someone's took my spot where I was sitting in the waiting room. So now I've got to go and sit somewhere else. And it's hard as it is anyway, as most of you will know. When you're sitting around random people, especially when some of them people are sitting literally a couple of feet in front of you on opposite facing seats. Even on a good day, I don't like looking in their direction. You know, it's okay, isn't it, to like just look at someone and then engage in their face, and then you look at each other and you're like, all right, yeah, all that. And if you're one of them people and you're in the mood to talk and you feel like you can talk to that person, then why not? I do that from time to time. I'm grouchy, don't forget, I'm tired, right? I can't be asked, but the worst of it all was I got a gorgeous bird sitting in front of me, and I got a gorgeous bird, I think, with a elderly mum next to her, who I think she was there for, sitting next to me. So I'm grouchy, I'm tired, I'm in my dirty uniform, so I'm feeling conscious about myself, and I've got beautiful bird in front of me with her legs crossed, and she's twiddling her toes around like that. And I'm sure she was trying to get my attention or something. She's curling her hair and she's looking over in my direction every now and again. And I can feel her fucking burning my face with her eyes. And I'm looking every now and again and I'm like, I ain't got time for this, mate. It's putting me out of my comfort zone, you know what I mean? Right? Then to make things worse, this is why Kelly's now calling me the new nickname that she's got for me. The woman to call me out comes out with a clipboard of names. Some Asian bird, some Indian bird, some Indian nurse. She comes out with a clipboard and she goes, Betty Benton, Betty Benton. And I go, What are the chances of a bird being in this lot right now with the last name that I've got? And I was the one that's supposed to have been next, according to that black nurse. Either that bird's not reading that board of names, that clipboard she's got of names properly, or she's deliberately fucking with me. Because how, I'm sorry about your accent, love, but how can you fail to pronounce Peter? How are you getting Peter as Betty? Right? So I've told Kelly this story anyway. Well, I ended up kicking off in the end. I didn't respond. Kelly's telling me, oh, you should have turned round and said, showed her up and went, excuse me, don't you mean Peter or something like that to that effect. And yeah, I kind of did want to do that. But at the time, I just turned round and I was like, could there be a Betty Benton? And then my mind went, you know what? No. If she's going to get my fucking name so terribly fucking wrong, and if I'm sensing it right deliberately, I ain't going to fucking respond. Right? Because I was thinking on the terms of like, you want to get it wrong and fuck about like that. I'll just waste your fucking time until you realise you need to fucking get it right and say my name fucking right, man. But she just started calling other people's fucking names and they were going in and I thought, this is getting me nowhere. Right, so I got pissed off. Great as it is, I'm tired. I just thought it was going to be a 10-minute thing with a doctor, half an hour at the most, and then I'm out of there and then go home. Right. I've spent too long in there. I'm tired, I'm knackered, I just want to go home. Bones are aching all over. I've done too much walking, too much work. Well, I just want to go the fuck home, guys. Right? So I stood up and I looked around and I waited for one of these birds that was coming out with the clipboards calling names. And I went up to this woman, this old woman. She was nothing to do with I don't think she was in charge of my name, basically. It was an Indian bird that called mine. I said, excuse me, I says, I've been told I'm next. But somebody's come out and said Betty Benton, but no, my name's Peter Benton. So is there a Betty Benton sitting down over there or isn't there? Because I didn't see nobody stand up when that name got called. Right? And she's gone, so what's your name then? And I went, my name's Peter Benton. Right? So she pulls out this piece of paper. She goes, what's your name again? Peter Benton. She writes my name on this piece of paper. And she goes, hold on a sec. I'm going to go and ask the doctor and I'll find out for you what's going on. All right, then. She comes back about 5-6 minutes later. She says, the doctor is going to see you. We just need to scan your eyeballs first, scan the back of your eyes. Someone's going to call your name and then you're going to get taken in. Then the doctor's going to see you. So I'm like, easy though, easy. I says, is there even a Betty Benton here? I was being grouchy with her at this point and I'm like, sorry to like be funny with you and all that, man, but I'm tired. I says, I've been up since 4 a.m. I just want to go home. She goes, I understand. Just take a seat there and you'll get called. So I sit down. The doctor, I don't even know what his accent was. I want to say maybe it was like an Italian. I was having trouble listening to him. I mean, he could have been Polish for all I know, but he didn't quite sound like Polish to me. It was like Italian or maybe it was Spanish or Mexican. I don't know. I was just like, what? You know what I mean? When he spoke. So I sat down anyway. And the doctor who was supposed to see me, he comes charging out of his office and he comes right up to me and I look at him and he holds on to my forearm And he looks into my eyes and he goes, "Hello, I am the doctor. He's going to be seeing you." He says, "We just need to see the back of the eye, and then I am going to see you next." Okay. And he's looking at me like this. Okay. Like I'm stupid or I've lost it or something. I'm just tired. I want to go home, you know what I mean? And he thinks I'm just like this bomb that's about to explode. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. So, okay. And then he walks back up to his office. Then the Asian bird calls my name, eventually properly this time, Peter Benton. And I'm like, go into the room, get my eye scanned with the old blue, put your chin on the thing and bring your eye into the thing. And then you see like a blue digital cross. And she's like, look at my ear, please. And it's like, scans your eye. And then you're off and you're in the waiting room. And I actually recorded the whole conversation that me and the doctor actually had, because on Kelly's request, because I'm terrible at remembering what people said. And then it's like, Kelly's like, so what did the doctor say? And I'm like, oh, he said I got to do this and think I got to do this and do that. Now that's me on a good day again, right? I'm fucking tired and grouchy and my attention's not good at best anyway. So it was a good idea to record. And long short of it, there doesn't seem to be any history of me when I was a child of how all this started. I was telling him what I know from what I can remember as being 6 years old, going into 6 years old in junior school, right? Being in a class, we're in the library, we're all sat down, and we're all being told a story, and we're all being called by somebody that's going to take us to the eye tester, doctor person that's come round to the school. I get called. It's like on the door, interruption of the story. Peter Benton next. Okay. So off I go. I'm doing this test. You probably know what I'm on about. It's this book, and it's got these circles in the book pages that are made up of all these different sized, all these different coloured bubbles. And in these different coloured bubbles, there's supposed to be letters or numbers, right? So he opens the first page. I close my left eye, which is my good eye. What's the number? Tell him the number. Turn to the other page. What's the number? Tell him the number. What's the next What's the next number on the next page? Okay, what's the next number on the next page? Sorry, I don't know. What's the number on the next page? Okay, yeah, there's something wrong with your eye there. Okay, what's the number? That's the number. What's the number? That's the number. Okay, what's the number? That's the number. Yeah, what's the number? I don't know what that is. Okay, what's the next number? Oh, yeah, that's the number. What's the next number? And so on, like that, yeah. So that's when they found out that not only am I short sighted, that my right eye is absolutely crap, but they also found out that I'm slightly colourblind as well. So you could have like two felt tip pens and they could be dark red and light red. And I would argue most of the time that that one's red and that one could be orange, or a blue that's slightly leaning towards like kind of a, sometimes I'll get blues mixed up with purple. Sometimes I'll see grey as green. It's very common apparently. Or pink and greys. I'll get them confused as well. It's just different tones. And it's something to do with, frequencies that your brain can't pick up, because the doctor said to me, it's not the eyes that see as such, it's the brain. So it's like the eyes are the receivers of the frequency, but the brain is the thing that's receiving the color. Actually, you know. Um, and for some reason, two CAT scans, and God knows how many, we know why. We know why. And it's just annoying. It's just fucking annoying. I just want a new pair of glasses that I can actually see out of, or contacts that I can actually see out of, so that I can bloody read the number plate at the legal distance that you need to read a number plate, so I can start properly doing my driving lessons, my driving test, carry on with my driving lessons that have been put on hold for like over a year now, going on 2 years, I think it is now, right? So then I can just pass and be able to drive around, because Kelly's been carting me around for so long, man. I need to get driving. And these doctors, man, fucking giving me the runaround, man, and it's pissing me off. Now it's come to this foreign doctor saying, oh, we need to find out the history of what your mother and father, because he said to me, is there any history of illnesses or eye problems in the family? And I said straight away, my mum's got glaucoma. So he's like, oh, what I need you to do is I will find out the history of you when you was a child up to now that seems to be missing on your records for some reason. And what I want you to do for me is I want you to find out the history of your mother and your father, what illnesses they may have, or anything in the family that might have any effect on what's causing, and all that crap. And I'm like this. I'm really struggling to understand what he's saying because of his accent. I'm tired as well. So glad I put it on record. So glad I listened to Kelly and recorded that whole conversation. So then, let's get to the point of it all. I told Kelly all this. She laughs at me. I was telling her in text about the Betty bit. She sends me a voice. She sends me a voice recording on WhatsApp, and I thought she was crying at first, and I thought something was up. She was cry laughing at the fact that the nurse had called me Betty. She says, "I'm gonna call you Betty Boo Bear from now on," because Betty Boo Bear. So now I'm getting called Betty Boo Bear now. How long that will last, I don't know. I think she's not gonna let that one go, I don't think. Yeah, Betty Boo Bear, man. Honestly, every time I've gone to the doctor's, dentist, whatever. Okay. A few times when I've gone to the dentist when I was younger, so just checkups, I have felt like just running out, but I've never ran out from the doctors or anything like that. That day, because of the way the day went after that Betty Boo business, I was close to just walking out of that place, man. I was like, I don't even know why I'm here anyway. It's not exactly being pointed out clear to me on the phone. It was just, oh, we need you in for an eye test. And I'm like, I've literally not just come out after having another MRI scan or whatever they're called, right? And now you're booking me in for another eye test. I'm still waiting for my scan results to be told to me from the first bloody CAT scan that you gave me. And now I've just been sent back in there again to have another CAT scan because the doctor seen me and said, that's not the CAT scan I want you to have. I want you to have a much longer one that takes longer, where they put you on a drip that puts this dye through your bloodstream so they can get better results to see where the blood's going, or whatever it is they need to put that dye in you for. But that's the only thing I can think of. I just, where's it going to end? How many more tests? How many more scans do they want me to go through? And if I'm honest as well, my eyes have got worse, and I believe it is because of all the bloody flashes of digital lights and torches that have been flashing in my eyes, man. Fuckers, man. Now your man's talking about getting my history from when I was 6 years old up to in my teens. It seems to have mysteriously gone missing. Got everything else. Got everything else. When they request it from this particular doctor that's supposed to have everybody's history of whatever, but can't seem to get my childhood history of my eye health. Oh no. It's definitely all about fucking money, guys. In the meantime, fucking my life up, well, my eyes, my health, and postponing stuff that I need to get doing to better my life. I don't care about this shit. Oh man, I've missed so many messages, sorry. Yeah, it is funny though. Kelly was rolling. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Marge, I'll play the little voice comments that Kelly sent me when I speak to you sometime tomorrow. Yeah, technically, well, it's nearly tomorrow now. In a few minutes. How far back do we go? Is Joel still here? Oh, we got 4 now. Hold on. Checkered past. Can't say I've ever seen you before, but if you're still there, thanks for popping on. Weather is obvious. Absolute. I know, mate. It's fucking banging. It's like we know you had a shit July and August. We're going to crank the heat up now. Here you go. Now, I know from at least 5 or more years' experience of watching the season's temperature slightly shift over by roughly about a month, give or take, that September does tend to be, potentially can be, at least to like up to the last week of September, still a decently hot month. When I was little, say little, in my teenage years, coming up to 16, I was 15 going on 16, and it was at that point now where it's like, do you want to stay on at school or do you want to leave now? Now you're going to turn 16, get yourself a job and all that sort of thing, being more of an independent person and all that crap. I wasn't ready for that. I was scared, and I wanted to clean. Even as much as I hated school, my idea of sixth form was you can do whatever fucking classes you want. You can come in and out of school whenever you want. That's the way I viewed the sixth formers. There's nothing like that. You still had to have a timetable. You still had to fill that whole week's timetable with lessons. So I had a pop at that, and I put myself on a 2-year pre-A level course, dropped out at the end of the first year. Don't know what my GCSE grades are to this day. Just walked out because I couldn't fucking bear it anymore. But yeah, at that age, it was time to get work experience, and I chose to work in a pet store. That the owner of the pet store, Ivor at the time, Sheldon Pets, my dad knew him really well, and unfortunately, I couldn't work there because some other lad that I knew, it's one of my friends, had already nipped it in the bud there and got that position. So I ended up working in a farm that was attached to a school, Holy Trinity School and Farm in Smallheath somewhere. And I ended up doing that. I ended up working with this guy called Steve and some other guy that was there simply because he was doing community service, for doing some shit, wherever it was, I can't remember. But yeah, and another lad from school was doing it with me as well. And I noticed come October, all the leaves had fallen off all the trees, apart from the evergreens, of course. But all the leaves had fallen off the trees by October. And I made a note of that because not a lot of people do that, but I'm one of these people that looks out for these things into nature, into the changings of the seasons and that. The following year, same thing happened. Following year after that, same thing happened. And I kept an eye on these things, right? And then um, adult life kind of got in the way of my perception of things, and I'm concentrating on other stuff, and I'm taking my mind off these things that most people wouldn't look out for, but I was trying my best to look out for. And then I started noticing by the time I'd got into my first flat, by the time my mum and dad split up and I turned 19, some few years later, and I had to move into a flat with my brother. It was that fall I noticed that it weren't until mid-November the leaves started falling off the trees. Now, fast forward, and I've noticed this for the last 5 years, the leaves haven't been falling off the trees until the very end of November. The leaves have been clinging on for dear life on most of the trees, just holding on. October, still on there, mate. Might not be green, but still on there. Yeah. September, October. Okay, a lot of the leaves are starting to fall off. It's October, but there's still a good fucking bunch of leaves on there. You can see through the trees now. There's still a good bunch of leaves on there. Right the way into the end of November, and you still got bloody leaves on the trees, right? And that's happening now. Um, there's definitely something going on there with that. But I noticed these things. I noticed these things. Um, so yeah, it's like it's going to be interesting to see what happens this time because something's definitely going on with the sun this year. That's become definitely apparent this year. That's what's uh, really got my attention this year. It's not so much what with the forest fires and all that and having all that cloak of crap destroying the best part of our summer this year. But when we have got the sun out, the sun's really intense. Not really intense. Um, like what the fuck, man, intense. And you all know it. You all know it. When you go out there, like even in midsummer, say like mid-July and into August, uh, you typically go out there on a clear blue sky. It's the middle of the day. The sun's high. It's beating down on you. You could go outside in a t-shirt and typically probably take about 5 or more seconds for you to take your mind off whatever it is you're thinking of as soon as you hit into the sun's rays and go, oh, bloody hell, that's instantaneous now, isn't it? You literally step outside of that pub, step outside that house, wherever it is that you're at, straight away, man. It's like, what the? Seriously, man. Like, when I started watching Nigel's view on things, talking about some technology and lenses up there, and it's like this is happening now, and we're experiencing the sun the way we are, and it's like instantaneous. It's like that shit's no fucking joke, you know. And I look up and I think to myself, could there really be some sort of high tech technology up there that we can't see? Uh, some kind of lens, if you want to call it that. And it made my mind just turn over and think for a while about it. And I look when the sun's coming up and when the sun's going down to see if I can see this other sun or wherever it is, this planetary body next to the sun. And I have to say, I haven't seen anything as yet, and I'm still hopeful, still looking. Yeah, I was because Dave's stream was breaking up. I thought, sod this. I'll put him small on my phone in the corner, and I'll go out with my phone, and I'll have a look and see what I can see in the sky, being as it's clear. And I did see a few things, as I said before. I don't know what that was. Most of them were really tiny little small ones that the screen keeps going dark for some reason. Small ones that I was just struggling to just about see. So, um, I don't even remember now. Oh, thanks. That's nice of you. Thanks for that. Checkered past. Thanks for that. If you're still there, hit the like button like that. See, I don't ask for that. And some people are so thoughtful. I like it. I like that. And I love seeing people having conversations with each other. That's what I like to see. I don't blame them, especially now school's just, wow, it's not the school that I know. Yeah, it is. What's the weather like over yours? Humidity. Holy crap. 37? Wow. 37. That's I keep wetting your t-shirt every 5 minutes job, that is, isn't it? Keep a cold bottle of water on you. Stick around in the garden and have a water fight. 32. Oh my god. Saw the beluga today. Saw the beluga. Every time we go to the Chester Zoo, because there's two airports near there, keep seeing the beluga coming to land. And the first two times we went to Chester Zoo in August, I missed that goddamn thing, but I managed to catch it this time. Just about caught it before it was going behind the trees. So now I know that beluga is always coming into land at one of them airports over at Chester. I know I'm going to get it on my camcorder one of these days in great detail. What's that say? Cockeyed people throw me. Which eye do I look? So when I speak to them, I've actually got a work colleague at work that's got an eye that's like, I want to ask him. I'm going to ask him eventually one day. What's going on with your eye, if you don't mind me asking? Why not to them, that's all. One that focuses. The one that focuses, yeah. Those colourblind glasses are expensive. Like, seriously, is that a thing? I have seen some shorts, but I didn't know whether they was genuine or not. It did. I swear to God, it did. You know what? You hit it on the fucking nose there, man. It did sound like Dracula. It did sound like Dracula. It's like, I need to have a look at the back of your eyes properly. I was watching, I was looking over, I was sitting in the chair, I was looking over at his screen and I could see he had like a little screen to one side. And I was like scanning round the outline or something. And I went, is that my eye? Is that a scan of my eye? And he went, yes, this is the back of your eye. And I was just waiting for him to turn around on his chair, swivel around and go, I want to drink your blood. Oh man, yeah, you're right there, mate. You're right there. I was thinking on the same sort of thing. I was like, I recognise that accent, but I can't quite. Mm, yeah, Dracula. We'll laugh. Still laughing. Yeah. Drink your blood, Dracula. Yes, exactly, mate. Acts like a magnifying glass. Modification, yeah. Cosmic company. Hi, Julie. You alright? Yeah, I'm good. Apart from being messed about. Excuse me, folks. Aye, aye. Oh, excuse me. Mm. But if I'm totally honest with you see, because I said I think he might be Italian, but then I looked at his skin and I observed his skin, and his skin was white like mine. So I thought, then, no, he can't be Italian. And that's when I reverted back to maybe he's Polish. And then I thought, no, 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 no. That don't sound like Polish actually to me. But Romania, possibly. Mm. I gotta go and see the guy again. So that's gonna be funny, isn't it? It's gonna be interesting. It's this little fly flying around down there. Little midge. Anyway, set this up immediately. I need to get a crack in. Yeah, I think that is actually the mm, mm, I'll, I'll leave it there. I'm gonna go in on this one properly tomorrow. So that's saved now. 6, well. So that's saved now, but let's see just before I go what random other stuff I've got going on here. Right, what's this? Just turn that up a little bit. Speaking of what the hell all these are. Oh yeah, we know what this is. So this is the version I did of it that never fucking came out. This is the more wiped up, deeper bassline version that I never sent out there on the Facebook. I never sent this one on. Like a unreleased VIP, if you want to call it that. I wanted to do a full vocal fucking version of this stuff. I suppose I don't mind anymore now. You know. But anyway, let's have a look and see what else we got. I didn't have the sample time that allowed me to do that. So I would have had to have a big rethink of how I was. I had a way. I know how I was going to do it. It's going to be tricky for me with what tech I've got, but I think I could have pulled it off. What's the? Randomly called the. Let's just fast forward. Okay, this is the draw. I don't know what it is. Vaguely remember. Okay, that's crazy. I know where I've took it off though. I've took it off this one. At the time when I did this, I thought that I'd done a pretty good little piece here, but look, after what's happened and everything and listening to it now, I don't feel as much vibe from it. It's the computer one, isn't it?
Finally, most of us have already heard. Most of us today have heard. Most of us have heard of binary code. The new quantum computers are taking that to the next level.
People saying anyway. Bradshaw rant.
Welcome to Sounds of IBM. Most of us have heard of binary code. It's the way the computer communicates with us. The quantum computer has taken that to the next level. The quantum most of us have heard of binary code. It's the way the computer communicates with us. The quantum computer has taken that to the next level.
Oh no. Do these quirky little thingies. I just wanted to see what was on here, man. Started that tune that I was like that, you know, that fucking troll that started calling me Reese's teeth and all that shit. And I ain't even put all the stuff into order yet, but I've slapped some of the stuff down. I need to. I ain't even gonna bother putting the other fucking memory cards in because it's about tonight. Just wanted to keep my mind occupied while I'm talking away. So I'm pretty much done with this now. Was kind of hoping that Command & Conquer was going to be in here, you know. Have a little game of that. I'm thinking about packing it away now and going to bed. Got one more day left, and then I've got to go back to work on Wednesday. So catch up on these messages and have another little natter to you, and then have to say my goodbyes, I'm afraid. Got some sleeping to do. It's been a nice hot day today. Lovely animals, elephants, giraffes, orangutans, peacocks, peacock pheasants, pigeons, vultures. Didn't get to see the leopard or the puma. Didn't bother going over to see the lion, because we've already seen him a few times now. Fish, snakes, lizards, Komodo dragons. It's been all right. Need to have a shave though. It's starting to itch the dick. Not good, man. Going to go see also. Oh, Joel. Hopefully talk to you tomorrow then, alright, bud. Thanks for coming on, mate. And you, Marge. Everyone else. They are, aren't they? Yeah. So what are you going to do for what time is it? So it's only 7:30, March. 7:30? Did I get that right? It's 7:30. I think I got that right. So coming up to 7:30 by you. Um. So yeah, what are you doing for the rest of? I mean, what time are you planning on going to bed, March? Tell you what, I know it's just random to say, but there's so many false widows around here, man. Loads of them coming out of nowhere. So anyway, enough of me flicking through my shit on my phone now. Yeah, check on. Yeah, we do that every now and again. Like check on what's sold on that and refresh it. 7:40. Yeah, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I got it right, more or less. Right then, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go then, guys and girls. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna finish here and get my stuff together and head up the stairs to bed. So yeah, Marge, I'll give you a buzz at some point tomorrow. I'll catch up with Joel as well. Uh, got some more digging to do, obviously, in the garden again. Going swimming at some point. Not sure when. It'll probably be later on in the afternoon. But I'll definitely give you use a buzz, give you a bell. Okay, so with that, I'm going to bed. Good night, everyone that's still here. For the 3 people that are still here. Yeah. All right, Marge. See you later. Talk to you later. Bye for now. Bye bye. Betty Boo Bear out.